Let's talk about deism. Deism sounds a lot like theism, but it's its own word and it's its own concept. There's two main concepts that come together to give us this idea of deism. The first concept is that God or the gods is a creator, not an interferer, not someone who interferes. So, what does that mean? It means that there's something supernatural that's outside of space and time, and that thing, call it God, created everything that exists in the natural world. But God is not listening to your prayers and changing the future based on what you're doing right now. God is not seeing the way that people are acting and then sending a messenger to give a word to man. God is not interfering with the world. All he did was create the world, and now the world is just doing what the world is doing. So the idea of deism is that God is a creator, but not an interferer. The second concept that helps us to fully understand deism is that if you want to understand God, if you want religious knowledge, if you want to grasp religion, it does not need to be revealed. You don't need Moses or Jesus or Muhammad to hear what the truth is from the supernatural and then to say it and give us laws through the Torah or the Bible or the Quran. You don't need revelation. You don't need a priest or a rabbi or an imam to tell you the truth about religion. The idea of deism is that religion can come from reason alone. So you can come up with arguments using reason and rationality that leads you to religious knowledge. Coming to religious knowledge does not require somebody explaining it to you and they heard it from God or the angels. These are the two concepts that come up to give us deism. So if someone's a deist, they may not necessarily be saying that they're Christian or they're Muslim or they're Zoroastrian, but they are saying that they believe in some kind of creator God, and they are saying that they believe they can have religious knowledge of God or the gods or whatever supernatural thing exists from reason alone. Let's add deism to this list so we can make sure we know deism, theism, atheism. Whoop. Theism is the idea that something supernatural exists. Call it God, call it the gods. So someone who's saying that they're theist is saying that they believe in a supernatural existence, and it's probably God or it's the gods. An atheist is someone who says no such gods exist. A monotheist and a polytheist are kinds of theist. The monotheist believes that only one such God exists, and the polytheist is saying more than one such God exists. So these are not mutually exclusive. You don't have to just choose one. In fact, if you're a polytheist, you are a theist. And if you are a monotheist, you are a theist. You might also be a deist, depending on what kind of theist you are. But if you are an atheist, you cannot be a deist, theist, monotheist, or polytheist, because you're rejecting the whole idea of some supernatural being like God or the gods in the first place. To recap, deism includes these two main ideas.